Well, hello, hello. This is Rosa, rcgkreations. How are you doing? We're bringing to you, what's for dinner? Breakfast. It's winter, and I'm tired from working. I get tired of the traffic. Live in Houston. That should be enough. But anyway, I'm bringing to you, I've had this many times at friends' house. I've never made it myself. So I kind of sort of know how it all goes together. But for some reason, I don't know why. Well, I know why. It's because I don't like to bake and I don't like to cook. But I'm close to retirement, so I got to start learning how to do all this, because once I'm retired, hubby says I'm doing all the cooking. So anyway, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it now. So what we're making today is called Bake Oatmeal. I have a program on my computer that's also on my phone. It's called Evernote, so I keep track of everything on there. And this is going to be a plain simple, because it's my first time doing this. But the next one, and I'm sure it's going to turn out good, is I'm going to add some diced apples in it. Little bite-sized apples, too. But I got to go to the store and get some first. And just get some variety. Okay, so what I'm doing here, the recipe calls for 3 cups of oats. And I have all these jars here. Let me make sure you can see all that. Oh, you know what? Let me turn this around, because I got my new camera now that it's working. And let me zoom you back in here. Oops, wrong way. Sorry about that. But I'm actually got to move the camera back. You see all those different jars? When you're preparing or storing your food for long-term storage, or even just for the end of the year, you can use pretty much any jar when it comes to dry product like oatmeal, rice, pasta, stuff like that. So that's what I've just been using whatever jar I had at the time. Let me zoom you back in. Let me bring you back. No, I think I zoomed too much. Sorry about that. I'm a newbie here, learning how to do all this stuff. Okay, we're good to go now. So I just wanted to show you, because in my regular everyday pantry, I keep a thing of oatmeal, but I've been making so much stuff with oatmeal with it, and different recipes with oatmeal, that I'm running low, so I'm having to go into my long-term storage, which is like anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Then I have another one that's made for like 20 or 30 years, and those are my number 10 cans that I've bought from different manufacturers. And those are meant for extreme last resort. Never been opened, and my goal is to not have to use it, but I do try to cycle those out about every 15 years, so that way I can cycle them out and get some new stuff. But they're really good. Anyways, I just was showing you. Here I have this is an old tomato jar. And it's not vacuum packed. It's just hand tight. That's all it is. Hubby does those actually for me. And then here's one that I did vacuum pack. Just a regular little pint mason jar. You use what you got. So anyway, let's get back to the main program here. Okay, so it's asked for 3 cups of oats, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, and I make my own brown sugar. Let me know if you'd like to know. Put it in the comments if you'd like to know how to make that. But I just wanted to show you, I do make my own. And I put one of those little ceramic little doodaddy things. You soak it in water for like 15-20 minutes, dry it out, and then you put it in your sugar, your brown sugar, and it never gets hard. So, but those things really work. I usually buy mine from, actually my local grocery store, Kroger, Walmart, H-E-B. They all pretty much carry them. So what I did is I packed it, okay, and for your newbies here, what you do when it calls for packed brown sugar, you pour your sugar in here, then you pat it down with a spoon or a knife, whatever it is you have. This is just a little, I forget what you call this, that comes with my set of measuring cups. And these are from the measuring cups, and the spoons all from Peppered Chef. I like a lot of the products from Peppered Chef. So when you pat it down, and that's what they call packed brown sugar. Then you'll just pour that in your recipe, your bowl for your recipe. Okay, so that was that. Now it's asking for 3 cups of oats. Let me move my stuff over here out of the way. Yeah, that one's been and vacuum sealed. So let's open this up. Do you hear that? That tells you that that was a seal. Wash this. Now we're going to put in 3 cups of oatmeal. Excuse me, 3 cups of raw oats. You can use instant oat, what's it called? Hard something wheat oats. I forget what. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do put in here, but I buy the instant oats because hubby likes to make his oatmeal right away for breakfast in the morning. Oh, there's my oven. My oven's ready for all this to be popped in. This won't take very long. And there's my 3 cups. Put this over there. Okay. And anyway, but I buy the one that takes a little bit longer to cook, to boil when you're making oatmeal, and the one that's instant, so it's done like in a few seconds. You can do it in your microwave. Okay, so let's move all this out of the way here. I'm going to have to open those and put them in my everyday oatmeal. I have a container because we use a lot of oatmeal, especially in winter. And I put it in there so it's quick access. So 3 cups of oats, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I'm almost out of my cinnamon, but I went ahead and looked at it. And I got me another ready here because I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Leveler. This is what this is called, leveler. I need to think about it in a minute. So you use this to make it level, so you have it level. Because some recipes, you got to be right on the money, on the measurement. And some of them you can kind of over or under a little bit, whatever it is that you have. In some bottles, you can just use the lip to smooth it out. But I just wanted to show you this, especially for your new people who are new to baking. Okay, so that is my 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Don't need that one. Put that away. Oh, I forgot to get my apron on, but that's okay. This is not going to be too messy. Okay, 2 tablespoons ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt. And I don't want to contaminate my salt container because my hubby uses this salt when he's salting his food on his plate. Okay, and that's close enough. So 1 teaspoon of salt. I like to do all my dry ingredients and then mix it up that way. So we're going to skip the milk for right now. It calls for 1 cup of milk. Calls for 2 eggs, which I've got scrambled right here. 1/2 cup of buttered melted butter, which I have here. It's already all melted. That's a wet ingredient. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now, my vanilla, I make it homemade. Let me know if you want me to put a link in there on how to make it. I got your vanilla beans and your vodka. That one's made with vodka. Okay, and let's see here. And then it asks for 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay. Remember a while ago, just a minute, I was saying some containers will give you a little lip. And I'm going to go ahead and contaminate my baking powder, but that's okay. I'm going to do that. And you see how you're able to make it level with the little container? That's what that's made for, in case anybody was wondering. It helps, it makes it easy for you when you're making your product. Okay, so it asks for 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, so that's the baking powder. Oh, hubby's home. Uh-oh. You gonna be on the video, honey? He says no. Okay, I just got a few more things. Now we gotta let's mix this up. Let me get myself a big fork. Move this out of the way. Just gonna mix all this up. It won't take that long to mix this up. When it comes to dry ingredients, of everything that I've been watching, YouTube, Google, Pinterest, everything. Friends, because now that I'm having to learn some of this myself, I'm actually getting there early to a friend's house when we're invited for dinner or breakfast or lunch, whatever it is, and I'm watching them do what they do. Because, you know, I'm 61 years old, and up until this last year, I hardly ever baked, and I hardly ever cooked. It was always hubby or a child, one of their kids that did it. And that was fine with me. And they liked it because they got extra allowance money whenever they would cook a meal. Now, they would cook, but I would do dishes. I've always been doing one that does the dishes and wipes down the counters and the stove and all that. So it's an equal trade-off. But that was just me. And those of you with a large family, I'm sure y'all do a lot of that. Those with a small family don't, but I like to be able to hand down some of my skills to the new generation. And we now got a 4th generation. We got a great-grandson. I mean, a great-grandson. And my mom's still alive, so far she hasn't met him because he lives in another state. My mom lives in town here with me. Not with me, but in the same town. So we're hoping that they get to come down sometime soon. This COVID has really spoiled the vacation travel trips. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so that's mixed up pretty darn good. And always when you mix it, go all the way to the very bottom. And let me make sure I'm in the camera there. Oh, I forgot to flip this around. I forget I have this new camera that hubby got me that lets me flip the lens so I can actually see where I am and I know if I'm in focus or not. But you know, you just mix it all up. Make sure you go all the way to the very bottom center so you can make sure all that powder, everything is mixed up pretty darn good. So that's a good way to mix. So that has all been done. So now let's add the wet ingredients. There's 1 cup of milk. Now this is my my pressure can milk. I did this last year. I've got several jars of that. I save this milk for when I'm baking something. But hubby sometimes will drink it if he has no milk and he really wants a milk. As long as it's ice cold, he'll drink it. Okay. Put that in the fridge just a minute. Oh, and I wanted to show you. Here's my eggs. I keep them in a little clear egg. I found something on the internet. I don't forget where. I know it was not Amazon. But I got 2 of these little containers, and now when I'm doing a quick shopping, I'm getting my grocery list. It's nice that because it's clear, I can look right away and I can tell how many eggs I have left, so I know if I need to buy some or not when I know I'm doing a shopping run right after work. Okay, that's just a little tip there. 1 cup of milk. Okay, my 2 eggs. So first, I already stirred it. And this is the other little tool that I got from Pampered Chef. It's a little, ooh, piece of my hair. Thank goodness nobody's coming over for dinner. Put that in the trash in a minute. Okay, my eggs are in there. Now I'm gonna half a cup of melted butter. That sure is like an awful lot of butter. A lot of these recipes, these people do a lot of butter. I'm not used to doing a lot of butter like that. But once I learn more about what I can and can't tweak, I'll get a little bit better at that. But until then, I'm following the recipe to the T. Okay, that's not hot no more. First, I have to keep all my dirty dishes in one sink so it's easy to wash. Okay, then my butter, my 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let me wash that because I don't want to get that contaminated. So now it's asking for 2 teaspoons. Oops, that was kind of hard. I know I've used this before. That smells so good. And with this homemade vanilla, 3 times better than the store-bought vanilla. Even the expensive store-bought vanilla. I've had some expensive store-bought vanilla. Okay, it's asking for 2 teaspoons. So 1, 2. Typically I add more, but again, like I said, since this is a brand new recipe, I'm just going to follow it to the T. And then when I'm eating, if I don't taste a whole lot of vanilla, I'll write it down on my little note, in my recipe, and I'll put on there an extra teaspoon. Okay, so that's the vanilla, the baking powder. Mix it all up. I'm hoping It asks for a big baking dish, and I got the biggest one I have. Again, like I said, I'm not a baker, so we don't have a whole lot. You know what? I think this is not going to be enough for this. I think I may have to do a double batch. If I do a double batch, I'm going to do it off camera. And then I'll put it in my pot, because this pot, this is a Pyrex baking dish, and it says it's 9 by 13, which is about the size of what that recipe said it was supposed to be using. So I don't think it's going to rise very much, but you know, I don't know. Okay, I definitely got to do a double batch because it's not enough. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to make a quick double batch right quick. And I got to melt my butter because there's no way. This probably can do triple. I made triple this batch. But I'll be back. Let me make another batch and I'll put it in the oven. Okay, we are back. And I did do a double batch. And this did rise, as you can see there. Isn't that pretty? Smells good. It kind of reminds me of fresh baked oatmeal cookies. Pretty much a lot of the ingredients are the same thing. So, I let it rest for about 10 minutes. So now I'm going to cut into it. Whoops. Okay. Don't know if it's supposed to fall apart like that. It smells good. Now let's do a taste test. Oh, hold on. Gotta flip my little thing so I can tell if I'm in frame or not. Okay, yes, I am. Okay, well, I'm going to bring this close up. That's what I wanted to do. You see that? It did stay most of it, but some of it fell. I guess it's just the part that didn't get with the moisture, but it looks like it's all cooked. So, let's do the taste test. It's like a cake. The ones that I've had with my friends, they're more binding. So I need to ask them what they do to make it all like, more like a cake. But then, you know, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. I've never actually seen anybody actually get into it and open it and eat it. It's kind of funny how this is our supper. And this is also a breakfast item. But what I don't understand, so if anybody knows, please put it on a comment. Why is all of it not sticking to each other? Because I was told that the eggs will help bind it. As far as taste is concerned, this is a definite 2 thumbs up. I don't really think it's overly sweet. If you didn't like the sweetness, you can definitely add a little bit regular, like half a cup of regular sugar. Or do an extra half a cup of brown sugar. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But I think it's perfect just the way it is. Now, I have heard some people say, like in the morning when you heat this up, because I think the morning the texture is a little bit different because it's set in the fridge overnight. So we'll find out tomorrow. And I'll set my alarm so I can get up early. And I'll take a picture because I'm going to take some of this for work tomorrow for breakfast. And see what it looks like. So that'll be part 2 of this video. So I'm not going to close out today because I am going to bring that part 2 in the morning. So I'll put a reminder on my alarm. to see if the difference is different. Now, I was told from a lot of the sites, you can put this whole thing raw, cover it with plastic wrap, cover it twice, go all the way around the whole thing twice. Make sure it's all covered. And then put one layer of foil on top. Label it so you know what it is. Stick it in your freezer. You can stick it in your freezer for about 3 months. Then take it out, thaw it out, let it thaw. Then take all the foil, the plastic and all that off, and then put it in your oven and bake it. And it'd be the same thing, 350 for 40 minutes. Okay, so that's something that you can do in advance and ahead. And this is definitely something that I would love to do, but in a smaller portion, because this is way too much for hubby and I. But then we have a smaller, you saw my other casserole, my breakfast casserole dish, you saw that smaller one? And stuff, so that's more than enough for a breakfast. But I definitely would not do this as a dinner. I would do it just as a breakfast or as a like a brunch. But anyway, thank you. No, not gonna say thank you, not gonna say goodbye, because you're gonna see me in the morning. Okay, take care. We'll be back at the next phase. Okay, we're back. This is the next morning. All that oatmeal bake, I put it in these containers. That way we can take them to work. So let's try one. Let's see what it looked like. Because sometimes when you do this cake stuff and you put it in a container the next day, it's a little on the mushy side. So there's all my little crumbled pieces, because those are good. And actually it held pretty darn good. See that? And because it's in my kitchen, I don't have to heat it up. Let's do a taste test. Really, really good. It's not overly sweet. It's just like I said yesterday. This is what I'm taking to work. Hubby's going to pick whatever he wants. Then we'll have some more for... These are going to be more like for dessert than for breakfast. But anyway, well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And refer me over to some of your friends. Don't forget to share me. We thank you so very much for watching. We catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.